All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sunil Verma. The headlines. Special representatives of India and China to discuss boundary issue in New Delhi today. Government proposes to invest 50 lakh crore rupees for modernization of railways. Skill Development Ministry to set up 500 skill hubs and labs in government schools. British Parliament votes to approve Prime Minister Boris Johnson's Brexit deal, and cold wave conditions continue to sweep North India. The special representatives for India-China boundary question will meet in New Delhi today. This will be the 22nd meeting between the two countries on the issue. The Indian delegation will be led by National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, and the Chinese side will be led by Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Our correspondent reports that this will be the first meeting of the special representatives between the two countries since the second informal summit between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping in Chennai in October this year. Railway Minister Piyush Goyal has said that railways are looking at a 50 lakh crore rupees investment over the next 12 years. Speaking in New Delhi, he said it is coming out of joint ventures so that it can modernize the railways, bring down the logistics cost and improve the share of freight in railway network and make the journey world class. Mr. Goyal, who also holds the charge of Commerce Ministry, said government is making huge efforts to give support to bankers to lend boldly and freely to the NBFC sector and the real estate sector. He said all of the stakeholders should work together and work in the direction of change to protect the entire value chain. Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Ministry has finalized a plan for setting up 500 skill hubs and labs in government schools. It has taken several initiatives to impart skill training to the youth of the country. Our correspondent reports that the ministry aims to skill youth on a large scale with high standards in order to achieve its vision of a skilled India.
Skills and knowledge are the driving forces of economic growth and social development for the country. Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship was formed in 2014 to give a fillip to the skill development and entrepreneurship efforts in the country. More than 1 crore youth are being imparted skill training annually under National Skill Development Mission. The total number of industrial training centers increased by 12% from around 12,000 in 2014 to nearly 15,000 in 2018 and 19. With Dipendra Aarti Rana, AIR News, Delhi.
A meeting of Union Council of Ministers will be held in New Delhi today. During the meeting, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will review the progress of the works done by different ministries over the last 6 months. All union ministers and secretaries will attend the meeting, where they are expected to give presentation on the work done by their ministries in the last 6 months. They will also discuss their future planning. The meeting of the Council of Ministers is being held after a gap of 6 months. A similar meeting was chaired by Mr. Modi in June this year after assuming office for the second term. During the meeting, he had outlined the agenda for different ministries. Minister for Shipping, Mansukh Mandavia, yesterday handed over the citizenship certificates issued by the Government of India to 7 Pakistani refugees in Kutch, Gujarat. He met the Pakistani refugees who have taken shelter in Gujarat's Morbi and Kutch districts. Speaking on this occasion, Mr. Mandavia said that the Citizenship Amendment Act will provide a new opportunity in life to the minorities who faced religious persecution in Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. He said it is Modi government's effort to offer them a dignified life in India after they faced extreme harassment for so many years in these countries.
सभी शरणार्थी मित्रों ने मेरा स्वागत अभिवादन करके मोदी जी को अभिनंदन देने के लिए कहा है और मुझे ये बड़ी संख्या में शरणार्थी को देख के, उसके चेहरे को देख के खुशी हुई। हिंदुस्तान में शरणार्थी के रूप में वो आज दिन तक रहते थे और अभी से उसको नागरिकत्व मिल जाएगा।
Refugee families gathered on the occasion celebrated the event with cheer and joy. A person who was granted citizenship expressed his happiness.
हम 2007 में आए थे। 2007 से लेके 2014 तक कोई हमने आधार कार्ड की प्रोसेस नहीं थी, बैंकिंग की कोई प्रोसेस नहीं थी। 2014 के बाद जो बीजेपी की गवर्नमेंट आई है उसने हमें आधार कार्ड भी अप्रूव दिया है, बैंकिंग का भी दिया है, प्रॉपर्टी का भी दिया है। प्लस में जो ये 2019 का जो बिल आया है प्रेरित हुआ, इसलिए देखिए दीपावली साल में एक बार आती है, शरणार्थियों के लिए 70 साल में पहली बार दिवाली आई है। तो बहुत ही खुशी है कि हम गर्व से आज हिंदुस्तानी भारतीय कहलाएंगे।
The Delhi police have detained 40 people in connection with a violent protest in Old Delhi area yesterday. According to an official release, some police personnel, including senior officers, were injured in stone pelting by the protesters. The police said strict legal action will be taken against those who are found to be involved in the violence and arson. A total of 58 companies of security force personnel were brought in from outside to bolster the strength of the local police. Delhi police spokesperson M.S. Randhawa said that outsiders were involved in the violence and police is investigating the matter to nab the miscreants. He said the police only used mild force and water cannon to disperse the crowd. He denied any lathi charge and use of tear gas.
अगर कोई भी गैर कानूनी काम करने की कोशिश भी करेगा, जहां करेगा, उसके खिलाफ दिल्ली पुलिस सख्त कार्रवाई करेगी। हम सोशल मीडिया पे, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे कांस्टेंट मॉनिटरिंग कर रहे हैं।
Rapid Action Force took out a flag march in Daryaganj area to maintain peace. Normal services have resumed at all stations of Delhi Metro this morning. Entry and exit gates of all stations are open. Yesterday, at least 18 metro stations were closed in view of the security reasons and protest against Citizenship Amendment Act in the national capital. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has accused Congress President Sonia Gandhi of misleading people over the Citizenship Amendment Act. In a statement, she alleged that the Congress and parties like TMC, AAP and Left are spreading fears by linking the Citizenship Amendment Act with the NRC, which is not yet formulated. She appealed to the protesters to read the law and seek clarification if they needed one and urged them to stay away from the forces which are misleading them and using violence and spreading fear among citizens. Earlier criticizing the NDA government over the Citizenship Amendment Act, Sonia Gandhi had said that people have the right to raise their voice against wrong decisions and policies of the government. India has asked Malaysia to refrain from commenting on the internal developments in India without a right understanding of the facts. The External Affairs Ministry termed the remarks of the Prime Minister of Malaysia on Citizenship Amendment Act as factually inaccurate. The ministry said the Citizenship Amendment Act provides for citizenship through naturalization to be fast-tracked for non-citizens who are persecuted minorities from 3 countries. The Act does not impact in any manner on the status of any citizens of India or deprive any Indian of any faith of her or his citizenship. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. The second meeting between officials of India, Afghanistan and Iran took place in New Delhi yesterday to monitor implementation of the 2016 agreement regarding development and management of the Chabahar port in Iran. The External Affairs Ministry said that the 3 countries welcomed steady progress in operations by India Ports Global Limited Company since the taking over of the operations at Shahid Beheshti Port at Chabahar in December 2018. The second meeting of the follow-up committee took place at the level of Joint Secretary Director General in New Delhi. The Emir said that it was agreed that the protocol to harmonize transit, roads, customs and consular matters would be finalized. It was also agreed that promotional and business events would be organized in Afghanistan and India to popularize the Chabahar port. It was recognized that over 5 lakh tons of cargo has been handled successfully. Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office, Dr. Jitendra Singh, has said that the private sector is making a beeline for investment in Jammu and Kashmir. He said, within 2 months of the changed administrative landscape in the newly carved out Union territory, the private sector is coming in a big way to tap the potential of the youth and economy. Dr. Singh said this in New Delhi yesterday during a presentation made by the chairman of PricewaterhouseCoopers PwC, which is a leading multinational consultancy firm. The minister said the psychological hurdle of Article 370 was so huge that private industry was reluctant to invest in the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir, but now this barrier has been breached. In Uttar Pradesh, a special court has sentenced 2 persons to life imprisonment in the 2007 Ayodhya Civil Court blast case. Additional District Judge Ashok Kumar also imposed a fine of 50,000 rupees on Tariq Kazmi of Azamgarh and Mohammad Akhtar alias Tariq of Jammu and Kashmir. The third accused, Sajad-ur-Rahman, was acquitted because of lack of evidence. Britain's newly elected Parliament has given its initial backing to Prime Minister Boris Johnson's Brexit divorce deal with the European Union. MPs voted 358 to 234, a majority of 124, in favour of the EU Withdrawal Agreement Bill in the House of Commons yesterday. The bill will now go for further scrutiny in Parliament. The bill would also ban an extension of the transition period during which the UK is out of the EU but follows many of its rules past 2020. The UK PM said the country was now one step closer to getting Brexit done. America's legendary civil rights leader, Congressman John Lewis, introduced a bill in the House of Representatives to promote the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. He also sought a budgetary allocation of $150 million for the next 5 years. This bill, which has the support of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, is being considered as a significant landmark initiative by the United States Congress to commemorate the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Welcoming the introduction of the bill, India's ambassador to the US, Harshvardhan Shringla, said it reinforces the close cultural and ideological bonds between India and the US. 50 years after Dr. King's visit to India in February 1959, All India Radio discovered a taped message by Dr. King that emphasized the intellectual harmony between messages of Dr. King and Gandhi on non-violent social action. Biting cold continued to sweep North India with fresh snowfall in Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. Higher reaches of Himachal Pradesh received fresh snowfall yesterday. Met Department has forecast heavy rain and snowfall in the state today. Severe cold wave conditions have gripped Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh after the snowfall. Met Office has predicted widespread rain and snowfall in the 2 union territories over the next 2 days. More from our Srinagar correspondent.
Continuing intense chill in Kashmir for the past 10 days preceded arrival of intense cold period called Chilakalan in the region. Chilakalan has started today. That's the 40-day most difficult cold period in which snowfall is generally expected, and dry weather conditions in this period add to the difficulties of the inhabitants. Meanwhile, the Srinagar-Leh highway and historic 86-kilometer long Mughal Road and Anantnag-Kishtwar roads remain closed for the past 10 days due to accumulation of several feet of snow and slippery road condition. Tariq Rathar, AIR News, Srinagar.
And now, for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Abhishek Mukhopadhyay.
Thank you, Sunil. Protest against amended citizenship law and the proposed NRC is the top story in all the dailies. 6 killed as CAA violence rocks UP, thousands rally in Delhi, Maharashtra, Gujarat is the headline in the Tribune. The Times of India headline states, hospitals list 11 dead in UP protest, cops count 6, say they didn't fire a single shot. Hindustan Times reports that the Home Minister has tried to allay fears over CAA link with nationwide NRC, saying documentation establishing citizenship wouldn't be as stringent as in Assam. Spectrum auction is the top story in financial dailies. Spectrum auction likely in March-April may fetch 5 lakh crore rupees, headlines the Economic Times. The Indian Express quotes the Prime Minister as telling India Incorporated that the government has built a strong foundation for a $5 trillion economy and to invest boldly with no fear. Financial Express reports that in a pre-budget consultation meeting with Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, economists have asked the government to expand the fiscal deficit target and keep budget numbers credible. And the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's refusal to meet Indian-American Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal is reported prominently on the front pages of the Pioneer, the Indian Express and the Statesman. And with that, it's back to you, Sunil.
Thank you, Abhishek. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Special representatives of India and China to discuss boundary issue in New Delhi today. Government proposes to invest 50 lakh crore rupees for modernization of railways. Skill Development Ministry to set up 500 skill hubs and labs in government schools. British Parliament votes to approve Prime Minister Boris Johnson's Brexit deal, and cold wave conditions continue to sweep North India. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.